Namaste, crypto aficionados, digital capitalist, and today I have Richard Ravenhawke, Canada's best psychic, with us today, and we're going to talk about world events, and we're going to talk about crypto as well. Thank you so much, Richard, for coming to my show, and I'm really glad to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. I am a bright and effervescent ray of sunshine, and I am ready to go.
Right. So, with all the things that is happening around the world, I just wanted to start off our conversation with the world events, and then later on, and then we'll move on to cryptos. With this pandemic, how long do you think we have? When is end in sight for you?
You know, I believe that by this time next year, most things are going to be back to normal,
Yeah.
And even in Canada here, they're talking no more masks by August, my personal favorite, Canada's Wonderland, is going to be opening July 7th. You know what I mean? And different people are getting vaccinated. I got my second one, and it's they're easing a lot of restrictions, and I think it's going to be about a year, before we really it'll disappear like every other pandemic we've ever had.
Right. So,
So from the Black Plague to the Spanish flu to you name it, it's always disappeared.
okay, but there are variants that are coming out, and there are different kinds of variants, and some variants are more stronger than the previous ones, like
Yeah.
the ones in India especially, right? It's mutating into God knows, like black fungus. And do you see that
Yeah.
happening? Do you see that?
I do think there's going to be some stronger mutations. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the flu, and the flu is always mutated. That's why people
Yeah,
got flu shots every year, because it was for the last mutation, and
yeah.
some are worse than others. I mean, the bird flu was special. Never mind the swine flu. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Different. So,
yes.
you're going to get the odd mutation that'll be bad, but this is to be expected, and nobody could have seen this coming, right? Who gets
Nobody.
a psychic reading and hears, oh, you're going to get the flu next year? Nobody,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
who could have seen it? But, it's the flu, and, there always will be mutations. There always has been, right?
Okay. And
So, but
so what do you think about China? Do you think there will be a war breaking out, as in a full-fledged war? Do we need to be worried? Do we need to store food? Do we need to,
no, I don't think it's going to be a full-fledged war. I don't think we're going to have to build the family compound and stock the bunker, and to tell you the truth, I think that the war is already going on, and it's a financial war.
right?
And, China's winning, unfortunately. But,
Yeah.
we're already in the middle of it. And, it's called the golden rule, those with the gold rule, right? So nobody has to push a button,
Yeah.
in order to win a war these days. They're taking over financially. Already look at the real estate prices in North America, and et cetera, et cetera. And, people don't realize that we're already in the middle of the war. This one doesn't have to do with guns.
They are like taking over silently, financially taking over companies. They are,
Financially and technologically, yeah.
yeah. They are telling companies what to do, and they're stealing their secrets, and they are claiming it as their own. And we think that China is that great of a country, but actually there's a lot of stolen material, right? It's not like
Oh, absolutely.
it's not organic. Yeah. Understand. What do you think? Okay, so what do you think is going to be the relations like between China and India on that front, since things are so tensed up right now between these two countries? Will it
Yeah,
escalate?
yeah. I think there's been a lot of tension between them for a long time. Isn't India the ones that are protecting the Dalai Lama?
Yeah.
So,
So there you
So
go.
for you,
True, 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 true,
no,
true.
you can't have him. He's ours.
Got it, got
But
it, got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I do believe that like again, I don't know that I see a physical war front on a border. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Neither one's going to try and take over the other. It's not, but you know, financially, technologically, like you're going to see, like I really think that at some point there's going to be trouble there.
Mhm.
So I could definitely see China trying to do things like, you know, shutting down internet, you know, and things like that, and different, you know, attacking on a technological level. I mean, hey, if Russia can influence elections, you know, so, but again, I don't know if I see anybody getting shot at a border, you know, it's
Yeah.
the days of the paid assassin are, you know, they're not, you know, completely gone, but, you know, in another 100 years or two, I doubt, you know, I can't see it, you know?
And what do you think of Trump, right? You know, last year, I mean, when Trump was there in the last 4 years, he put his country first, he put America first, which I thought was the right thing to do, right? And very patriotic, very patriotic guy. And you have to put your country first, right? I mean, so I think a lot of Americans were very sad and disappointed when he lost the elections. Um,
Yeah, there's a lot that we're saying it was fixed and things, and I mean, who knows? We'll never know the truth, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I believe that he's going to be coming back, you know? I mean, they elected a guy that, you know, I mean, I don't know this for a fact, so I can't state it as fact, but, you know, word on the street is he doesn't have all his marbles anyway, you know, he's got dementia. So, you know, I mean, just for lack of a better way of putting it, wait for shit to start happening. And, you know, Trump's going to come back looking like a god, you know?
Did you see the way Biden was talking in the G7 meetings, and he was like mixing up with Libya and Syria and all that? He's very incoherent and, you know, not making sense of what he's saying, and it shows.
Mm.
It clearly shows anyone, you know, who sees that. It clearly shows that this guy has, like what you said, lost his marbles. He's not there. I mean, he's not whole. He's yeah.
No, I personally think that if brains were dynamite, he wouldn't have enough to blow his nose. So we'll have to wait and see.
So if you think that Trump is coming back, is he coming back like with a party? Because there are some, I don't know, some, you know, I hear saying that he's going to be the last president, the 46th president. Was he the 46th?
Well, yeah,
45th?
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that would make sense if China takes over economically. So we'll see. You don't need soldiers anymore to take over a country. You just need the dollars. You need the financial control, you
Yeah.
know, and the
Yeah.
technological. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, I personally, I can see the possibility of that. I don't believe that the U.S. is going to be a world power forever, and no world power is forever, you know. It's not the United Nations anymore, you know. They're pretty much a charity organization at this point, you know. But you know, every great world power that we've ever had, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
from the Egyptian Empire to the Greco-Roman Empire to, I mean, one could argue the Third Reich, you know, etc.
Yeah.
Like they've all began, reached a pinnacle, and
Yeah.
descended, you know, because everything is cyclical, you know.
Cyclical. Yeah.
And the UN has come to its end, and you know, sure, the US is rising, and but it's not going to be forever. And I think that they've seen their day, and you know, like any other world power, it's going to decline, you know.
Mm. And do you think China will be the superpower, or will there be any other countries? Uh,
I don't think it's going to be like next summer, you know, but you know, like in 20 years or 10 years or something, or I can definitely see things going that way. And it's all starting now with financial and technological advancements, and ownership and power and control, right?
Correct. There are space
They-
wars
they-
going
they-
on.
yeah, they're basically buying our continent an acre at a time.
Yeah, yeah. But it looks like the US lobbyists and especially the Democrats, a lot of them are cozy up to China. And do people see that?
You pick the biggest bully in the schoolyard, and it's always better to be his friend than his enemy. So, one of the keys to happiness in life is knowing who's bigger than you. So,
Correct. Yeah, you know what they say, right? If you're in a pond, be friends with the crocodile. Don't be his enemy, right?
right. Don't be friends with the goldfish,
Yeah.
So that's just the way the real world works.
Yeah. Are we seeing a shift? Okay, a bit of spirituality here. Are we seeing a shift, or are we going to see a shift in consciousness in people in general, in terms of, yeah,
Most definitely, especially with the start of the Aquarian age, which began in November, December-ish. Things are already starting to shift in a big way,
Okay.
The only problem I have with the entire shift is the cancel culture, Other than that, I can see everything going.
Yeah. That's, I think, because I think it's the quality of consciousness at the end of the day on Earth that really matters. And with that, things can change, because if you are light, if you have light, then darkness can't really exist. And of course, there are polar opposites. If there's light, there's darkness. But where there's light, there will not be darkness. So the more people, of higher consciousness are there, the better the world will be as a collective.
Right. I mean, a shadow is only a shadow until you turn on the light, and then
Exactly.
it ceases to exist, right? So
Exactly.
the concept will remain forever, but the Earth in and of itself is a living, breathing entity, and people forget this. And the more you become in tune with it, the more you become in tune. The more that the natural ebb and flow of the universe, and how everything's supposed to work, becomes part of who you are at the core.
That's great. Okay, so let's go to cryptos, and I want to ask you, what do you see? Okay, for 2020 and for next year, what do you see Bitcoin doing from now till December and the whole of next year?
I have said and maintained all year that Bitcoin by Christmas is going to be 100,000. So give or take 100,000 ish, between 80 and 120, just 100,000, right? Ballpark. We're in a big dip right now, and I think that this is the last dip that we're going to have, of this magnitude. So even to add to it slowly but surely, unfortunately, I own no Bitcoin, because every time I buy it, I'm always using it to buy another coin. I pick it up and it goes poof, but that's okay. Other coins are going to do well as well, so,
Okay.
But Bitcoin is going to be 100,000 by Christmas,
Okay.
and I'm doing that in hopes the other coins do what they're supposed to do, then I can trade it back into Bitcoin and I'll have my coin, so that's just the way I approach it. But right now, every time I buy it, poof, so
no, it's the same thing. If we do altcoins. We invest in altcoins so that it goes up, and then we can buy more Bitcoin. But sometimes it just doesn't do that, and we end up with less Bitcoin, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bitcoin
The
we buy
Lord giveth,
altcoins,
the
right?
Lord taketh away.
Yeah, it happens to me also. But I was lucky a few times, but then yeah, there are some times where it doesn't work out. So I think it's all ebb and flow, and
Yeah,
yeah,
and volatility is part of the game. And
yeah,
if you buy in at dips, you've just got to sit on it. What goes down has to bounce, right? And as long as you've done your homework and you're investing in something, that makes sense and isn't just a pipe dream. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of coins right now that are excellent buys.
yeah. We'll go into that just a minute. I just want to ask you, what do you see Bitcoin doing the whole of next year, from January to December? Is there going to be a
So
huge dip next year? Do you think?
I
Because
think
I think yeah. Please go on.
I think this is the last time it's going to dip below 50,000.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be 80 to 120 by Christmas, so 100,000. And I think over next year, interestingly enough, I do think that there's going to be another dip next year around March or April.
Okay.
And I feel that that'll be another good time then to get in. But in general, maybe not by the end of next year, but by the end of 2023, I can see it hitting maybe 150-ish and then, leveling out, right?
Mm.
So, but now's the time to get into it for sure.
Right.
And next year you're going to get a lot of stretches, like a month or two stretches where it's not going to look like it's doing anything,
Mm.
but that's okay. But so after next summer 2022, I think there's going to be like one big spike at some point, and then it'll come down a little bit, and everything will be, you know, uh, I'm half Italian. Italian slang is like street language. We say "Chi pedri sono edri." It's like a Sicilian Calabrese street talk. You know what I mean? It means all the hairs will be in place, so everything will be where it's supposed to be, and from
Right.
there,
Right. What are your thoughts on Ethereum when you hear Ethereum? I'm seeing governments are building their coins on Ethereum, like Singapore government, right? We're doing our coin on Ethereum. We have given we have blessed Ethereum, and we have let Ethereum. Yeah. So this is what I'm seeing. So when you are seeing it, when you think about Ethereum, what do you think of? Does it have long legs? Is
I
it
think
going
it does, and I think there's a lot of other coins that are built on Ethereum platforms. And when you look at the fees,
Mm,
I mean the Ethereum fees are exorbitant,
right,
and
right,
for something that was supposed to put an end to banking fees, the fees are
yeah,
twice,
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, they put it into banking fees, so only they could charge us more, But
yeah.
I think it's going to be a necessary evil going into the future, unfortunately, you know. But that being said, with some of the alternative networks coming up, it may not be forever. Again, every world power has its moment and then declines, right?
Same for cryptos.
Yeah. So as long as you're the only kid on the block, sure, you can charge whatever you want.
Right,
But they're not going to be the only kid on the block in 10 years, right?
right. And okay, so I'm going to ask you a few of my coins that I. But before that, we heard of El Salvador accepting Bitcoin and all that. Do you see other countries also jumping the
Yeah. And
bandwagon?
I heard Ecuador and which South American country is it?
I think
Venezuela
Panama.
or Peru? Yeah, or
I think
Panama? Yeah,
Panama.
well, that's
Panama. Yeah,
yeah, Central America. One of my
yeah.
favorite Van Halen songs, Panama. It's although that was written about a stripper, but yeah, I was gonna say Panama, So anyway, the no, I think that they're going to continue to flourish, and I think that because a lot of these third world countries are you know, countries that supply they're supply countries, so they're countries where we get a lot of stuff from, like coffee, for example, and everybody drinks coffee. You know what I mean, and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that eventually they're going to force the rest of the world into adopting Bitcoin. You know, the countries that are resisting, because you know they're making it their mainstay, and you know, if you can't pay, then you don't get the product. You know, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Never mind tourism and everything else, and you know, so look for a rise in Bitcoin visas, you know, etc.
Definitely. Yeah, like El Salvador is charging like 3 Bitcoin if you want a PR for a PR.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 3 Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Litecoin. Litecoin is Bitcoin's little brother, right? What do you
Yeah,
see?
a friend of mine compares Litecoin to silver, you know, as it
Yeah,
relates to
yeah,
gold, right?
yeah. Basically, they are like test beds, like, you know, whatever comes to Bitcoin comes to Litecoin first, and if Litecoin works, then it goes on to Bitcoin, because Litecoin is just a fork of Bitcoin. So whatever testing to be done, or whatever upgrades usually comes on Litecoin first, and then goes to Bitcoin. So that's what they said, they're brothers. Okay, so do
Yeah,
you see
absolutely.
Litecoin doing good? I mean, if you need, if Bitcoin is the sun, Litecoin is the moon, and they work hand in hand.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I don't know if I can see Litecoin going over like, you know, $1,000, you know, but I do think that it's still going to go up a little bit. I don't, like, you know, Ethereum's going to get to at least 10,000. That's fine. But there's something about Bitcoin. I don't know if it's being manipulated or what it is, but I can see why my friend compares it to silver. You know what I mean? So it's just going to be one of those things that's going to, you know, it'll get to a certain point and it'll be consistent. I'm thinking it'll get to about $700 or $800, you know, and then go up and down a couple hundred
By
from there,
this year
you know.
or next year? By
I think coming into next summer.
next summer.
So it's only going to be about another 12 months.
Okay, okay, okay.
And time flies. I mean, there's only 23 Saturdays till Christmas, you know,
Wow.
and summer just
Yeah,
started, you know, so where
yeah,
does time go?
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. How about Thorchain? Thor as in the Norse god Thor. Thorchain. What do you think of that?
Thorchain, you know, I don't know much about it. I've heard the
Right,
name,
right.
but when you say that to me,
Mhm.
you know, I get a very, very stable feeling about it. So whoever's behind it
Mm.
must know what they're doing, you
Yeah,
know? It's
yeah,
something that I still have to look into
yeah,
personally.
yeah.
But as a psychic, on a psychic level, I can tell you that it's, you know, it feels like a safe bet.
And because the best thing about it is just it's because if you want to exchange Bitcoin with Ethereum on a decentralized platform like Uniswap, you can't directly change Bitcoin to Ethereum. You need to have a wrap, like you need to wrap Bitcoin
Right.
and then exchange it. So, but Thorchain is something where you can just exchange Bitcoin with any asset that is listed there. So Bitcoin with Ethereum, Bitcoin with Binance Coin, with
Yeah,
Litecoin.
yeah,
So that's the
that's
USP of
why.
Thorchain. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I'm big. I mean, I think I personally think that also would do well because it solves a problem, right? It solves a issue.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to
Yeah,
learn more about it for sure. I just
yeah,
haven't had a chance yet. And you know, certainly anybody that's watching this can feel free to contact me and chit chat about it. And, you know,
sure,
because
sure.
it's something that
Yeah,
I definitely want to learn. But and you know,
right.
you and I can have some conversations. But I get a very, very stable feeling about it. It's going to be the norm in about a year or two.
A norm, right? Yeah. I like to talk about plasma pay. When you hear plasma pay, plasma finance, what do you, what does it come? What comes up?
You know, I don't know why, but I don't get as special a feeling about them, you know?
Hmm.
It's not that I don't think that they're going to do well in their own right, but you know, I can't see them being, you know, one of the bigger ones,
Okay.
you know, at the top of the food chain.
Mhm, mhm.
So that's just my feeling about where they're going, right?
Right, right.
And I
If-
don't know if it has something to do with the technology or, you know, whether or not people adopt it, or I don't always know the who's, what's, where's, you know, I just know
right.
what I feel.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's not going to be as big as some of the others.
Um, protocol. Liquidity protocol.
You know, I've heard that. And again, it's one of the ones that I don't know much about. Is that a payment platform or is it,
No, it's a DeFi platform where you have zero interest, right? Where you can take out a zero interest loan. So let's say if you got some Ethereum, right? You just park some Ethereum down there. You just got to make sure that your collateral is 110%. If it's anything below 110%, you get liquidated, right? So you just
right,
have to be careful. And if let's say you're putting 5 Ethereum, you can safely take out half of that value, and you can put that in their pool, and you can earn their coin. It's called liquidity.
right,
And as you're earning liquidity, right? If any troves gets liquidated, you earn the Ethereum. And from the liquidity that you are earning, when there is, you can stake that as well, and you can earn their USD, known as LUSD dollars. So it's a DeFi mechanism for you to take out loans. You don't have to pay any interest, but of course there is a redemption fee, yes, but
right.
you don't pay any interest, and you don't have to pay it back. You just have
Next,
to make, yeah.
and next is going to be the guy that develops the crypto credit rating company. The no, I do feel that they're going to do well. You know,
Yeah.
um, I think I you know, I almost feel again, I don't know much about it, so but I feel like it's a new-ish kind of thing, and you know, so it might take a year or two to catch on. If
Mhm.
people in the community are going to understand it, but new people coming into the community, it might take them a little bit to wrap their mind around it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, give it a year or two. They're going to be going steady, right?
Right.
But
Right.
you know, and you know, you gotta keep in mind there's always the guy out there that says, okay, I'm going to take out this loan and just not going to pay them, and you know what I mean. So you're going to run into problems that way. This I'm only half joking when I say the crypto credit reading company, right? But so you know, there's always going to be people that take advantage. But I do feel, you know, as a general whole, they're going to do well.
Okay. How about pink node? Pink node.
You know, again, I get a slow, steady climb kind of feeling with them. So they almost feel like the little train that could. I don't know if you know that story, you know, but um, you know, they're going to climb that hill, you
Mhm.
know. Um, I feel that they're really going to start to shine coming in around spring of 2022. So give it February, March. Coming into spring, you're going to see some very, very cool developments with them.
Um, have you heard of Reef Finance? Reef.
No, I haven't heard about them.
So what are your thoughts on them when you hear that Reef Finance?
It sounds an awful lot like refinance. Do they deal in second mortgages or what's the scoop? Reef Finance.
Yeah, Reef. Reef
Uh,
as in, the Great Barrier Reef? The Great
yeah,
Barrier
yeah,
Reef.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I have one of my gaming characters is named Hoof Hearted, you know, like a horse hoof, HOOF, and then
Yeah,
hearted, like the heart. But if you
yeah.
say it fast, it sounds like Hoof Hearted, right? So yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, Reef Finance. It sounds like
Yeah,
refinance.
yeah.
Um, I'm thinking. I feel like they're going to have some pretty big people behind them. Do they have like a pretty successful team right now?
It's quite a well-funded team, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, like
Yeah,
they've got
quite a well-funded team. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like they've got stability there. And I don't know why I want to say that. I know nothing about them, but you know, they got the guys behind them that know what's going on and they know what they're doing.
Hmm.
So, yeah, a very, very, very wise person that I knew, you know, that I know. He's a Chinese billionaire, actually. You know, he told me one time. He said, you know, Richard, in order to be a success with any idea, you have to have the idea, you have to have the know-how, you have to have the drive, but you also have to have the right team of people to make it happen. And
Right.
if you don't have the right team of people, it doesn't matter how good the idea is, it's not going to go anywhere, you know?
Right.
And, you know, I thought like, I gained a lot of wisdom from this guy. I read from him, you know, once or twice a year. He'll fly in to see me for readings.
Hmm.
And, you know, I always retained that and thought, you know, that's probably one of the wisest things anybody's ever told me. And Reef Finance has the right team of people, right? So you got if you got the right crew, you can't go wrong.
Is Elon Musk good or bad for crypto?
Is Elon Musk good or bad for crypto? Jeez, the I know what George Bush has in common with his father. They both forgot to pull out in time. Um, but I think oh, you know, I want to say yes and no. Okay, he's bad for crypto because he's going to manipulate the market just like they manipulate the stock markets. You know, that's why I don't believe in Dogecoin. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. You know, I think it's been, you know, something that's been set up on the surface so that, um, you know, all the big croonies can cash out and, you know, make their money and say, hey, we defeated crypto, you know, but then it's going to crash and it's going to be nothing, right? But the I think I think he's bad for crypto that way because he's going to manipulate the market. And, you know, until he came along, it was going steady and people were making money. And you know what I mean? But now, who knows where it's going to go because it depends on this dummy's next move. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I think it's good for the crypto market because if you forget about the market and, you know, start looking at Musk himself and catch, you know, catch catch the pattern, right? You know, you can kind of follow it and you can still do very, very well because you know what he's trying to manipulate and why he's trying to do it. And you know, I think it's more about studying Musk right now than it is about studying the market, right? So it's not a blind market anymore as long as you've got, you know, him there saying, you know, as long as you've got him there to study as far as his moves and how it affects the way everything rises and falls, right? So he makes it easier to spot the patterns.
I think Anonymous is keeping him at bay for a while. I think, you know, they came up with that video. So I think hopefully it'll just quiet down and, you know, does his space stuff and all that and not to,
Yeah.
yeah, not tweet too much about crypto. Okay, I want to ask you, yeah, uh, what are the cryptos that you like, that you think the next 1000x crypto, 1000x or 100x crypto, what are you looking at? What are you buying?
You know, right now I'm adding to my UDT because it's an excellent buy, you know.
Unlock
Um,
protocol.
Yeah. I actually I got in when it was 1,500, and due to the dip, it's gone right down to 3. You know,
You know, you
but
told me
it's
about it. You told me about
yeah,
it. I bought it like for 300 over bucks. I
yeah,
bought
yeah.
it.
You got in at a very very good price because I think that it may eventually outperform Bitcoin, right?
Unlock protocol.
Uh,
Outperform
yeah.
Bitcoin. Whoa.
There's something about it, and you know, it's going to be one of those ones that just comes up at once. I also believe in Bitcoin SV, like Susan Victor,
Okay.
you know, which is the new hybrid, because you know, you can actually send 1 penny to a wallet, which you know is hard to do with a lot of other cryptos.
Mhm.
And I think it's going to be a lot more adaptable to retail platforms, things like that.
Mhm.
And oh, Bodog Poker. If you go online and go to Bodog Poker, you can fund your account with Bitcoin SV. They're accepting it now. It's only available on Huobi Exchange, so it
Mhm.
hasn't made it onto the major exchanges yet. But right now, it's fluctuating between $200 and $300. You know,
Yeah.
I got in at 150,
Mhm.
and but you know, again, that's going to be another $100,000 coin. You know, in like maybe 5 years. You know what I mean? Or
So,
I don't think it's going to be 10 years, but it's, you know, it's not going to be next Tuesday, right?
mhm.
Very, very good buy to get in on right now.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I do believe that we're still going to get 5 and 10 times with Ripple, right?
With what, sorry?
They're back down. I say I do believe that we're going to get about a 5 or a 10 times rise with Ripple still. They're
Ripple.
back down around. Yeah,
Okay.
they're back
XRP.
down around. Yeah, they're back down around $1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were up close to 5,
Mm.
and it's one of those coins that just, you know, everybody knows them and they seem to be popular, but nobody knows anything about them. Yeah,
They were, I
but
think these guys were supposed to take over the Swift banking system. And
yeah,
uh,
well,
and I
I,
think they are
I,
very
I
powerful people, you know, because the SEC can't do anything to them.
well, it's
They
owned
have a
by the
court case.
it's yeah, it's owned by the Rockefellers, you know.
Uh,
So this is the World Bank. We know it's not going to
and,
go anywhere.
okay.
I think we're still going to see 5 or 10 times, and sometimes you know you have to bet on the jockey and not on the horse.
Yeah,
That's what they say at the horse
yeah,
races.
yeah.
So you know, with Ripple, I'm not betting on the horse. I'm betting on the jockey.
Very good jockey. Okay, I
And
get it.
yeah. So that's what that one's all about. Why I believe in it, because you know it's all about who's taking the reins, right?
Right, right.
Um, there's UDT Anchor. I still think is going to do incredibly well.
Anchor
There's another
protocol.
thousand. Yeah, there's another 1,000 times coin.
That's part of the Luna ecosystem. And Anchor. That's part of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Luna ecosystem, right? Anchor, yeah, Anchor
yeah,
protocol. Yeah, I've heard of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anchor's going to do well, and I do believe that Pundix is going to do well too. Pundix,
Only X. Yeah,
because
yeah.
because they're attached to global payment systems.
Yeah, they had the POS system. They were showing, I think back when way back when they were showing, they're quite a, I think they were formed a couple of years ago, and they were showing their POS system where you could accept major cryptocurrencies and all that. But I didn't hear from them so long. Um, yeah, they've been out of the news
Yeah,
for some time.
they're kind of lying dormant a little bit right now.
Yeah, yeah,
But I do believe. But I mean, there's so many countries that are volatile with cryptocurrencies right now,
yeah.
and I think they're going to do well, but they're about maybe a year or two ahead of their time,
Mm.
right? But when they explode, they're going to explode big,
Mm.
right? So it's definitely worth getting into. You know, it's one of those coins that's very very cheap right now. So you want to aim to like own 1 million of them because
Mm.
it's going to get to $1. You know,
Okay, okay.
so.
Yeah. What about Polkadot? Are you buying Polkadot?
I
Polkadot.
haven't bought Polkadot, but you know, I get a very, very good feeling about it.
Mm.
Right now, I've been building up my Binance BNB coin quite a bit because that's the coin that I stake in my trust wallet.
Okay.
And you know, so it's you know, that's where I make my free crypto. You know what I mean? So, and I think it's a very, very good buy right now. It's around $300 or $400, and
Mhm.
you know, it's I think it's going to get up to probably at least 1,000. You know,
Okay. Okay. I
so
did. Yeah.
you know, yeah, I'm kind of adding to that slowly, and I like the staking returns on it.
Okay.
But Polkadot, I believe is going to do really, really well coming into September next year. So, you know, you've got the major bulk of between now and next spring to add to your, you know, add to your reservoir.
Mhm. And what else other than that? Any other coins that you're looking at?
Not right now. You know, I'm invested in a few, but
Mhm.
you know, those are the main ones that I'm really focusing on.
Right. Right. Right.
Ethereum, you know, because of the fees, I've just lost all respect for them. So I only keep enough in my wallet to do transactions.
But they are
And
building up their layer two, right? They are they are building up their layer two. So eventually, it will be fast, and I think transactions costs will come down quite a bit. But the only question is when. I'm not sure. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah, but they are building furiously. So I suppose when ETH 2.0 really takes off, when the L2, the layer 2 scaling solutions kicks in, I think we can see a good lesser fees for Ethereum.
yeah. Let's hope so. Until then, if I ever meet the guy that founded it, he owes me a beer. So
All right, great. So I think we covered quite a bit. So where do we find you? Where can we connect with you? How do we get readings if we are interested?
well, you know, my website is really easy to remember. It's richardravenhawke.com. It's my name.
Okay,
So Ravenhawke, just like the two birds,
great.
RAVENHAWKE. There's an E at the end.
Right,
richardravenhawke.com or
right,
torontotarot.com. They'll both go to the same
right,
place.
right.
And you know, pretty much that's got my email, my Facebook, my Instagram, my cell, you know, anything that anybody out there could ever be possibly interested in hacking. You know, it's all on there. So
Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's great. Richard,
yeah,
thank you so much for coming to my show, and I just want to wish you all the best. And hope this year will be a bumper year for all crypto aficionados like us, and we make good money this year.
absolutely. So
Yeah,
here's to the future.
yeah, yeah. Thanks again, and talk to you soon.
Namaste.
Yeah, namaste, namaste. Please support me to grow my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.